Hello, how are you? This is Michael Williams. It's wonderful to be here again today. We're going to be looking at how to stop stuttering by visualizing your new way of speaking, by visualizing your new way of speaking. Now, this is a part of your daily routine, your daily protocol. Remember, this is the foundation. This is the foundation. You have to have a daily routine to build momentum, right? And to simply strengthen those new connections, that new wiring that you're creating in your brain. That is, you are building and creating a new pattern of speaking and a new pattern of speaking. You're creating, you're developing, you're learning a new way of speaking and a new way of thinking. And in order to learn something, in order to create a new pattern, a new habit, you have to repeat it. You have to build that momentum. It's just how our brains work. Imagine a baby. If a baby were to try to start walking and just did it a couple times, man, you know what? This just isn't working for me. I'm tired. I'm just going to lay down and crawl, right? Well, then none of us would be walking. A baby keeps doing it every single day, and it probably even increases the time that it does, and it just keeps doing it until finally the muscles develop, the wiring develops that allows that baby to stand up, to balance, and to begin walking. So it's the same thing with you. Same thing when you're learning, if you've learned any new languages, you have to do the same thing. You have to keep going until you pass that point where the wiring is there and it becomes automatic. We call this automaticity. Okay? So in this session, we're talking about visualizing your new way of speaking. And again, I used this example before, but one of my clients just today was telling me how he had a meeting with a supervisor, and what he did, in addition to some other things that we'll talk about in other sessions, is he said he visualized himself answering the questions and addressing the issues, that is, providing the information in that meeting. He sat and took just a couple of minutes, and he walked himself through. He visualized, he saw himself speaking smoothly in that meeting. He saw himself using his hands and articulating and doing various other things and speaking like his model. Then, just before the meeting, when he was sitting in the meeting room, a couple of minutes before the meeting started, he also visualized himself speaking well. He visualized the reaction and the response of his supervisor. What that does is it makes a very powerful mental imprint. In fact, when you visualize something, right, if you do it with great clarity and emotion, what it does is it's very much like you are actually performing that behavior. So your brain sees it as you actually, and in his instant, it was like he was actually conducting that meeting. Every time he visualized it, it was like he actually was doing it. It's like he was practicing it. So what we're saying is that his brain was firing those same neurons that would be fired eventually when he was in that meeting. Visualizing himself conducting the meeting fired the same neurons as would be fired when he was in the meeting. So it was like he was practicing, he was experiencing it before he actually did it. So a part of your daily routine should be to visualize yourself introducing yourself, conducting meetings, giving presentations, going through an interview, having conversations. You visualize yourself doing this every single day. Because if you do it, it's like actually experiencing it. It's like pre-experience. Does that make sense? Extremely powerful, and it works. Now, you can't just do it once. You have to do it continuously. Everything is about repetition. It's about repetition. So today, we talked about how to stop stuttering by visualizing your new way of speaking. This is Michael Williams, and I'll see you when? In the next session.